Greetings, everybody. This is Dr. Rode, and I just wanted to talk to you for a few minutes about our hybrid learning program that we're going to be using here at Algonquin. So let's start by going through some language. So a calendar was sent home and has a lot of different types of information on it, and I just wanted you to be clear about what the calendar is communicating, as well as some of the terms you're going to hear your teachers and others use this year. For example, cohorts. You're going to hear us talking about cohorts. Now, this refers to a group of students who are attending in person. So cohort 1 will generally include the last names of students that begin with the letter A through letter K. And cohort 2 includes generally those students whose last names begin with the letter L all the way through the letter Z. And then, of course, we'll also refer to our groups of students who are the virtual students, the students who have chosen to stay virtual for their entire program. Now, these cohorts, you can see when they're being used on the calendar based on the color. So cohort 1 you see is blue, cohort 2 is gold. So on the calendar, the first day of school, September 9th, is a blue day. So that means that cohort 1, so last names A through K, will attend at school here at Algonquin's campus. Then, the next day, cohort 2, the gold cohort, they will be here on campus. And those are the students whose names start with L through Z. And then cohort 1, our blue cohort, will be at home. On September 9th, cohort 2 will be at home and then attending for their first in-school day on September 10th. And our virtual students will be doing virtual attendance the whole time. Now, also on the calendar, you'll notice that there's different colored days. There's light gray days and then there's darker gray days. And these days are meant to represent A days or B days. Now, the A day, B day is referring to the type of instruction you can expect to get on a certain day. So some of your classes you're going to have every single day. But remember that some of your classes, for those of you who have been at Algonquin before, 7th and 8th graders, you have some classes that you have on one day and not the other, such as PE, the FACS courses, the PAFA courses, anything like that. Okay, so 6th graders, you'll become more familiar with this type of thing. But just to explain it a little further, so on an A day, if you are a student who has gym, and then on a B day, you're a student who has art, you would have gym on your A days and art on your B days. Now you notice though in the calendar that instead of this being every other day, it takes 4 days to go through the whole rotation. So you'll have 2 A days in a row, followed by 2 B days, and then we repeat. You have your PE on an A day, you will have it on those 2 A days. You'll have it one A day, you'll be at school, seeing your gym teacher, and the other A day, you will receive you will engage in an at-home gym assignment. And then on the B days, one of those B days will be an at-home day. That if you have art, that you would be doing something at home, and when you are in school on a B day, you would be meeting with your art teacher. Okay, so this is the information. So this is all on the calendar again, but this is something that we have to become used to talking about and referring to. So cohorts refer to when you are attending in person, and the A days and B days refer to the type of instruction you can expect to have on any given day, whether you are at school or at home. So let's talk a little bit more about all of this. And so this presentation is brief, but it's going to cover our expectations for when you're at school, as well as expectations for a home learning day, and a couple of pieces of advice about best practices for when you are at home. And we're also going to review how do you get help when you're here at school or when you're at home. And then we're going to finish up with just a few tips on how to really make sure to make the most out of your virtual learning experience. So the days that you're not here at school, but you're learning from home. So let's start with our in-school expectations. So when you're at school, really students should adhere to the same expectations and also follow the same procedures as they would in a typical year. So these include being prepared for class, participating appropriately, acting as a responsible citizen. But on top of these, the current environment has created some new expectations that everyone needs to uh, be engaging in. And so these are the ones that help us have a safe learning environment for everyone, such as wearing a mask while you're at school. We expect that you will follow social distancing practices. We expect that everyone, when they're at school, will pay attention to their hand hygiene. So making sure that you clean your hands several times a day, just practices to make sure that we all keep us and maintain a safe environment here at Algonquin. Now, when you're at home, here's one of the big ones. Your school day still begins at 7:45 a.m. Okay, so you need to plan on logging into your morning meeting, Google Meet, by 7:45 each morning. Make sure that you are prepared for your day of independent work. So know what you are expected to be doing or know where to find it. And we know that our teachers are going to make sure they let you know what they want you to be working on, but you might forget from the time you're at school until you're at home. So make sure you've got that planned so that you know how to find that information to make the most of your day. And also, we expect that you'll be ready to check in with your teachers. If they ask you to come to a meet for something or they make email contact with you, that you are available to communicate with your teachers even when you are at home. So some ways to help you make the most out of your at-home experience is to be organized when you're there. Have a place to record your independent assignments. Also, bookmark your team landing page on your Chromie. The team landing page is going to be your one-stop shop for knowing your assignments, for knowing what you're working on, for getting to your teacher's Google Meets, all of that kind of stuff. It's an important page. Learn how to bookmark it on your Chromebook, and it'll be a great resource for you when you're at home. So how do you get help? Well, at school, we have our typical method, right? You raise your hand and you wait to be called on. Now, this is even more important this year because this is also going to help your teacher to manage their interactions between in-person and their remote or virtual students. So your teachers are going to be potentially at certain points during the day, they're going to be working not only with students in the room, but they're going to be working with students on Chromebooks or students who are engaging in meets or in the room virtually. And having your hand raised is going to be a way to indicate to your teacher that you need their attention, but it also allows them to finish up a conversation they're having on the computer, giving explanation to a student who's attending virtually, and then come to you to address your question. So this also helps to maintain a safe environment. With our social distance requirements, it's important that we maintain 6 feet of space in between each other. By raising your hand and waiting to be called on, the teacher can help to manage that spacing and maintain it in the classrooms. Now, when you're at home, it's really important for you to have strategies to be able to get in touch with your teacher. So send an email with your question. If you're on a Google Meet, post a private chat request asking your teacher to get in touch with you. Or if you're on your Google Meet, raise your hand next to your ear and just wait until you're seen, or perhaps press the raise hand icon on your Meet. But all of these, make sure you have a couple of ways that you can reach out to your teachers to get in touch with them so that you can get the help that you need when you're at home. So here are our virtual class meeting norms. So there are students who are attending 100% virtually, but this is also for you in the hybrid model when it is your day at home. So always be prepared. Make sure your computer is charged. Set it up in a quiet place in your room or in your house, okay? And make sure that you are still being a responsible citizen as far as how you present yourself. So wear school-appropriate clothing. Be on time. You need to set an alarm on your Chromebook or some other fashion, do that. Help to manage your time and be on time. Make sure you communicate respectfully and stay on topic during class discussions, especially when your teacher, because when you're in a virtual environment, your teacher also has students in their room with them. So this is going to help everyone have a good learning experience. Be sure to mute your mic in the main room until it is your turn to talk, and then unmute in the breakout rooms. Respect privacy. Never take screenshots, photos, or videos of classmates and staff. It's very important. Be an active participant. Raise your hand to speak. Type in the chat box. Do your part in breakout rooms. Okay? This is as important whether you are in school or attending virtually. You need to participate in your learning. When you're in your virtual learning, remember no other devices or windows should be open unless your teacher gives you permission. This means no phones, no gaming. Make sure you are focused on your learning. Have your camera on so that you are visible to your teacher. And if there's any reason why you can't do that, please make sure you message your teacher about that. And of course, follow all the school and class rules. So that's it. This is our hybrid program in a nutshell. I hope this was informative, and I'll see you all soon.